Hi, everybody. My name is Danny, and for those who don't know me, I make all types of YouTube videos. And today, as you can see, I have the Xbox Series X console. So I just wanted to, you know, before I unbox it, maybe I just wanted to just chat a little bit about a few things that probably people are talking about and stuff. So um, so t- today is November 27th, 2021, and this console was released. This console was released on November 10th, 2020. So that's about a year, just a little over a year. Now, um, you know, a year's gone by. Um, there's different ways to look at that. Um, in the world of technology, 1 year means most things become obsolete, right? If you look at, the iPhones, how there's a brand new iPhone every single year, meaning nobody really wants the even the previous year iPhone in general because it's considered obsolete. And in technology, you know, it's kind of generally considered that way. So it's sort of weird, that due to the reasons of you know the Xbox Series X as an X-ray. Um, it's so difficult to find, and most people, or a lot of people, are only getting it about um, a year later. So it's kind of disappointing because when you think of it that way, um, you're getting a console or a piece of technology that's already a year old. So all of those things that were considered kind of quote new and innovative at launch day are probably not really considered that new and stylish, if you will, like anymore, right? And if you look back at the previous generations of consoles, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, well, I'm an Xbox person, so I know Xbox. If you look at the how they structured um, the if you look at how they structured the Xbox One, um, they started off. Their first one was just the just the original Xbox One, and then later they added the Xbox One S, which was more powerful, and then they finished off with the Xbox One X, which was the third version and the most powerful. And I believe that I think that every one of those three had a lifespan of about 3 years before the next one was introduced, right? So, they're probably, people like to do things in three. So I'm predicting that, this generation, the series is going to have, you know, three different versions of it, right? So this is the first one, and it'll probably last about 3 years until they introduce another one, right? Which is the more powerful version, and then a final third version, right? So if you think of it, you buy this now, it's 1 year old. Well, people think it's not that old, 1 year, but it's kind of already a third of its lifespan, perhaps, right? And you know, it's weird because you know, I've waited so long for a year to buy this because really they're like impossible to find anywhere, right? Like I live here in Canada, and even in Canada, like online, like you know, um, if I'm talking about the Xbox Series X, like online, there are none anywhere, and um, just talking to different retail stores, the stores that you can go to in person in locally, they have shipments every once in a while, but those are just random um, stocks and shipments, and they're usually gone you know, the shipment is usually gone within an hour or so. So, you know, the chances of you getting lucky to get one of those shipments is very, very low. And doing some research just yesterday out of curiosity and asking myself, you know, why is it that even, you know, a year later, why is the Xbox Series X so impossible to find? And, um, you know, there were, it's like besides like the pre-orders and launch where, you know, people got their pre-orders, since then, it's almost impossible to find. And there were phases where I believe in October of um, I don't know if it was October, but sometime in um, sometime in 2021, maybe perhaps Octoberish. A lot of the insiders were saying, or actually, there was a tweet by Microsoft, and they said that we're going to try to get a surplus of, not really a surplus, but we're going to try to stock more of the Xbox Series X consoles for Christmas, right? There's going to be more. But then there was an interview with Phil Spector, or whatever his name is, the CEO of Xbox, and he said that a month later he was quoted as saying there aren't going to really be any more like Xbox Series X consoles really available really until next year, meaning 2022, right? And so, you know, I was doing some more research and I said, you know, why is that? And, you know, the researchers and the analysts are saying a big problem is there's problems with the supply chain, right? So one big part of that supply chain is, I guess they're saying, is there's a chip shortage, and this chip shortage is just worldwide. It's everywhere. So there's a big scarcity of chips, and obviously the Xbox Series X needs a chip or a special chip, and so without that chip, it's really impossible to make the console, right? I think it's different with the Xbox Series S, the digital version, where it doesn't really need that chip. But anyways, I just wanted to also say that for me, you know, if you've ever watched any of my unboxing videos, you know, you can see that not only am I pretty picky about things, but for me, you know, things are of different importance to different people. But for me, like buying something new or definitely brand new or unused and unopened, you know, not refunded, not exchanged, um, not open is really important to me, right? And so, you know, the only one of the only real ways to know if something's been opened or not is to look at the seal and what they call it the factory seal, right? And you know, Xbox is usually really good at that because I always buy um, the disc for most of my um, Xbox games, and people know worldwide that whenever you buy a disc, an Xbox disc, it comes with the wrap has a special wrap where the corners are specific to Xbox, and it's very hard to duplicate that outer package, that shrink wrap sort of thing, and then the sticker on the side that you have to kind of peel off or tear off. You know, if someone takes that off, you can easily tell if someone's taking that off. So, due to the scarcity of the Xbox Series X, you know, obviously I would always want to buy my console from basically a retail outlet to make sure, like I said, that I'm getting an unused product. The problem, like I said, is that there just aren't any, and so there was an opportunity that arose is I was just browsing and on Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, Facebook Marketplace. So there's a section in there for those who don't know where you can browse for different items and people sell different items on Facebook. And I saw this for sale and it kind of just caught my eye because I see a lot of them there. And, this one, caught my eye a little bit. And so for different reasons, it got me interested. And, I was just before I actually made the purchase, I was, doing some research and stuff to figure out, how am I going to tell if, you know, because not only do I want something that's factory sealed or definitely unused for this, but the the Facebook Marketplace seller was advertising this as factory sealed. But I had to ask myself, like, how am I going to know that it's legitimate, right? That someone's not just scamming me or manipulating the seal or whatever. And so I was just when I was doing research, and so I went to YouTube and I was looking for like different unboxing videos for this console, and I was a little disappointed because what I saw was, um, I guess for this console, there's 4 stickers, and yes, you need to detach all 4 stickers in order to open the box, but the stickers are, and I'll show you in a second. Um, they're um, they're transparent, yes, but it's a very strong seal, meaning like you don't really have to cut it, right? And so remember, the whole point of a seal or a factory seal is so that someone can tell whether something or whether something like a box has been opened or not. But this seal that I was looking through the YouTube videos, all of them really, it's a very strong plastic transparent seal, and I guess they marketed this way so that you could just peel it off and it won't sort of rip the box. But the problem with that is that you can peel off the sticker without having to need to cut it, right? And so usually when people are forced to cut it and you see a cut sticker or a cut seal, that's how you know that it's been opened, right? But you don't have to cut. You can just peel it off. And the other thing too is that you can peel off these stickers in the unboxing videos that I was watching. You can peel off the stickers, and the stickers are made supposedly markedly for some reason to not rip the box, so that for some reason they thought people would like boxes that are not going to be ripped after you take the seal off. But the only problem with that is that you can take the seal off without marking the box, but that means that you could really just put that same seal right on top of the box again, and it would still appear as if it was never opened, because there's no rips on the box or anything, right? And and you could also, even for there's a lot of scammers out there, and really what they're going to do is they're going to make their own seals. Like I said, I just gave you the example of using the actual seal that came with it. You could probably just put that. I'll see in a second, right? But I'm assuming you could take that same seal that came with it and just push it right back onto it, and someone could never know. Or the more elaborate scammers will make their own special seals that you can make on your own, and these separate seals that they make on their own or that they buy somewhere, they can just stick them right on the box, and make it even more like new looking when it really isn't, right? Because remember, the box doesn't have to be torn or marked when you take it off, right? So like before I do the unboxing, I just want to talk about you and say, like I said, there's really just looking. I haven't unboxed this yet. I'm going to do it in a second, but I just wanted to show you that every unboxing video that I see for this console, there's basically 4 seals, and all 4 seals need to be broken. So the first one is this is one of them right here, and you see that, you know, there's a little like edge here that you can pull, and there's an arrow that says pull in that direction. And then on the other side, there's another one right here, and then there's 2 more on the bottom, right? So the bottom ones are right here, right? So here's one. So here's one right there. See, you can pull that right there, and there's an arrow as to what direction. And the same thing here is the other one. It's the same thing, right? So I just wanted to show you that, you know, when I was looking at the CEO, and I was trying to say, oh well, you know, is it possible for this person, like I said, to either, you know, put back the original seal that came with it right on top of it, or maybe even, like I said, the more elaborate thing of making your own one and putting another one on it. But, you know, for those of you who are wondering and are thinking of buying something that is not retail, you know, if you look at this seal right here, right, the side corner seal, you know, what I'm seeing actually is something that's really legitimate, because one of the things is that there's already like ridges, sort of lines in the box, and like those ridges, like if you peel that off, and I'm going to see in a second, like there will be marks for those ridges, and so if you try to put that back on it, there's no way that you could get it exactly back on it again, exactly. So you'd actually see kind of like double the amount of ridges, right? But I'm not seeing that here. And the same thing with the other side here too, right? It's very legitimate. These two are very legitimate looking. But what I'm seeing on the bottom is, and I've seen this too, where on Facebook Marketplace, there was a guy that was selling this console, but he was selling the Halo Infinity. I think that's what you call it, Halo Infinity version that just came out like last week or something like that. And he was advertising as, you know, that the box was never opened or whatever. But like in the Infinity version, it's a little bit different, because like if you look at what you think is like the cover, and then on the Infinity version, you know, there's the Halo guy, and then there's like, you know, the logo, Infinity logo, and then the stickers right here. I remember looking at that, and it's like like this area right here, like this area right here, that's where the sticker was. It looked a little bit ripped right on top, right? And I was suspicious, but you know, I look at this one here, where and I was looking at this before, where everything about these 2 stickers looks perfect, except if you kind of look a little bit more closely. So let's see here, if you can see this. It kind of looks a little bit like I just want to make sure that I'm saying the right thing. I'm pointing the right thing to you. It kind of looks around like right around here, and right around here, like the top of the green area. The top of the green area, it kind of looks a little bit like the paint. Like there's green paint sort of chipped off of it or something like that, right? Like, so, you know, I don't want to say that, you know, it's been opened and it was ripped, right? By opening it, you know, when you open something, it rips off the paint or the ink of the box, and that's what we're seeing. I'm also assuming maybe that, you know, the box is always like this, right? Sitting like this normally, and those stickers are on the bottom. So this is a year old, right? So if it's been sitting in a factory or something, you know, a summer's gone by, a winter's gone by, you don't know what factory it is, if there's like heat or humidity or coldness or dampness somewhere, and possibly, you know, when it's sitting on something, you know, there could be that humidity that it's on the surface of where it is, right? And so that could possibly be, you know, one of the reasons why it looks like, you know, what it looks like is maybe a little bit of that green paint or that ink that's peeled off. And I'm not saying it's because someone actually, you know, like I said, peeled off the sticker and tried to put it back on, but I'm going to see in a second, right? So I just wanted to show that again, if you can't see it here, where yeah, so like right there, there's a little bit of that green, like ink or paint that's kind of looks like it's chipped off a little bit. Anyways, I'm gonna unbox it now, and then we're gonna see, right? So, so like I said, I've been watching some unboxing videos for this on YouTube, and so I kind of know a little bit. So here, we're going to rip this off. It's a very strong glue. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just going to actually keep one side of it, and and just by looking at it, right, I can see that, you know, the ridges, like I said, are really very prominent and very distinguishable on the sticker, right? Like those ridges do not just disappear. And so yes, like I said, you know, if you were to put that back on, you would see, you know, the discrepancies of where those lines are, right? And we'll do the other side. And if I look at, you know, what this sticker looks like, yep, again, like those ridges on the sticker, again, are very prominent, very distinguishable, and pretty permanent, right? It would be hard to put it back on and, you know, you would get something that looked like it was doubled up in ridges or something like that, right? And even, you know, if I look at the box too, you know, when I peel it off, the box now looks a little bit wrinkly, right? It looks a little bit wrinkly. So if I would try to stick that back on it, you know, it wouldn't look as clear as it did before, right? Okay, so the other one here. Let's do this one. It's a better camera angle, I think. Let's do this one. And indeed, I think I was wrong, because now that I'm looking at the green, and there is no green that's actually chipped off of it. There's no green ink or green paint that chipped off of it at all. It just looks like that it looks like there's sort of something going on when you first look at it over the original sticker. But when I'm going at it, it looks blurry like that, or weird, because when you're looking through the sticker, you know, there's glue and stuff like that, and it kind of just blurs everything. And so this one here, when I take this one off, and again, right, for this one also, there's no green that came off at all. No green paint, no green ink or nothing. And again, that blurriness was, when you look at it originally through that original sticker, because of the glue and stuff, it looks a little blurry. I think that's because of the glue and how it's stuck onto it. And again, for this one, I can see those original ridges, right, from the glue of the edges, and those can't really, those are there permanently. And if you try to stick it back on of it, you would not get a perfect match, and so you would see like kind of double the lines, right? And so you could tell. So everything looks pretty legitimate, actually. You know, I'm scared when, you know, you buy something from a non-retail outlet. So let's see if we can open this. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. And as you can see, you know, it says it says power your dreams with the Xbox logo. And I take this out. Again, there's more packaging, right? So here you can see it's taped. Here you can see it's taped. Here there's like a little bit of Scotch tape. And if I inspect that, right? Again, it would be it doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't look like that tape was taken off and put back on. It would be very hard to do that. So just wanted to show you the Scotch tape there. Take that off. See, yeah. See, even when I tried to put that Scotch tape back on, you would just notice that it was put back on, right? Yeah, and then the fold is just perfect. Yeah. The fold with all of this other packaging is perfect. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here again, there's another Scotch tape right there, and that looks very original. I don't think, again, there's a way that you could have taken that off and put that back on. Piece of Scotch tape right there. And again, that looks very original. I think they did this on purpose so that you couldn't just take it off and put it back on. That's why it's so difficult. It's just so perfectly aligned in the packaging. Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect alignment. Again, there's no way that they could have opened it and put that packaging back on like that. So, here is the console, right? So apparently, again, like I don't really know that much about these consoles, but this would be the kind of like the front side per se. This would be like the front side. This is the front side, and then that's this side, and then the other side, and then the back, and then the back, and then this is the famous, green top thingy. I can definitely see the green on top of it. I think the camera might be harder to see the green part that's on the roof of the console. I can definitely see the cool green part. And then the bottom just looks like that. And the bottom, I'm feeling it's kind of like a rubber. That this round part is all like kind of, well, the outer edge of it is definitely rubber. The outer edge is rubber, and the middle part is more like plastic. Yeah. And like I said, that was just the wrapping of that, power your dreams. And then there's just this protection, this foam, which is good, just in case it, you know, dropped or anything during the delivery. And then here's this thing right here. Like Xbox getting started. It's just the way to set up the thing. And apparently this top foam doesn't come out. Okay, so here and I'm just gonna put this in here for now. So in this box, right, what do we got in this box? We got, looks like a controller, right? Controller. Again, you know, scotch taped right here. Looks very original, untampered with. It's very untampered with. And here's the controller, right? My first impressions of it, it's very light, right? I remember with the Xbox One controller, the Xbox One controller seems bigger and heavier, right? Bigger and heavier. This one seems smaller. This one seems smaller and lighter, right? And the plastic seems a little less durable, if you will, right? Xbox One controller is very rugged. But I also have the Elite Series 2, the Elite Series 2 controller, the Elite 2, and it's hugely different. I think the only difference here between this one and the Xbox One controller is there's this button right here on the bottom, which you can share things and do clips with and stuff like that. And this D-pad is kind of like a whole circle. It's not just a cross. Yeah. And then you just put your batteries in that. And then here's your batteries in that. Yep. So this is the HDMI cable, this is the HDMI cable, and again, there's two plastic wrappings on each side, and I can tell just by looking at it that there's no way that basically that plastic wrapping would have to be broken. This, on the other hand, this plastic wrapping would have to be broken in order to use it, and it's definitely not broken, and it's very, you know, it's unfolded or anything. Like the cords are not are very originally placed, and you need this HDMI. You need this HDMI in order to start up the console. And it's the same thing with this one too, right? You need that to start up the console, and the two plastic wraps that are transparent, they would need to be ripped, and they're not ripped or anything. And the original, like, you can tell how, you know, original the cords are and stuff like that. And then here's the Xbox product and regulatory guide, limited warranty and agreement. Right. Just adjust the lighting. Hoping that the lighting just doesn't screw up or anything on me. And I think that's it. So just that box. Okay, and see if there's anything else in this box. I usually forget, because usually there's always other things in the box that I forget, but this one's okay. So I just wanted to finish this off and make a couple like final comments, and say, like, the other thing too is that, you know, like, even worst case scenario, because you know, I asked for a receipt for this from this the guy that I bought it from, and he's like, yeah, I'll provide the receipt, no problem. And he you know, he sent me a picture of the receipt first, and then when he brought the console to me, you know, I asked him to, well, before he came, I asked him to bring the paper receipt, because he has a paper receipt, right? And so a paper receipt means he bought it at the store. And so he brought the paper receipt, and the paper receipt actually showed that it was bought on November 17th, 2021. And I purchased this from him yesterday, and yesterday was November 27th, 2021. So that's only 10 days, right? So in that way, really, like, this console is kind of only like 10 days old. So I mean, worst case scenario, like, after all of this unboxing and stuff, I can pretty much tell that, you know, the factory seals are legitimate, and it hasn't been opened, it hasn't been used. But, you know, for those people who are thinking about buying like a console like this from a non-retail outlet, also think of the date, right? Because I just said that the receipt says he bought it on November 17th, 2021, and I bought it from him yesterday, which was November 27th, 2021. So the console is only 10 days old, meaning also that, like, he's only had it for 10 days. And so there's really like not much that he could have really done in only 10 days to to ruin the console. Like, let's just say if he did open it and was using it, was doing whatever with it, playing games or any of the other apps on it, like there's not really much that in only 10 days that he could have really done to ruin the console, right? Especially these modern consoles that have very strong like security features, like um, antivirus type things, and um, so I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good in that way. So I'm just gonna wrap it up, and the video's gotten a little longer than I wanted to, but I guess I had a lot to say, and it was a little bit different because, like I said, I had to unbox something from a non-retail party, so I had to be a little more um, concise in the way that I was unboxing it and looking at things and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm pretty convinced that the box has never been opened, and therefore the console's never been used and stuff. So I'm pretty happy about it. So I'm just gonna wrap it up and say thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching for all my videos. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because every YouTuber is different. Me, I mainly look at my subscriber count, and if I see that's regularly rising, that's a good indicator for me that people are interested, and so that'll motivate me or give me a reason to keep uploading new videos. And make sure that you hit that bell on that bell button, and from the bell click on all notifications so that you'll get that notification whenever I post a new video. You can interact with me and so forth. So that's all. Have a good day. Peace out.